Texas Forever, a Friday Night Lights podcast. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Liz.
And we're discussing Season 5, Episode 3, The Right Hand of the Father, directed by David Boyd, and original air date November 10th, 2010. How are you, Liz?
I'm doing good.
We're doing great because we are live
We're
tonight.
live.
We have our Total Betty patrons in the chat.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you guys so much for joining. If you're into live podcasts, that is one of our Patreon perks, so check out our Patreon.
Yeah. And if not, you can always find us on YouTube later on.
Yeah, you can watch us. You can look at our
delicious background, and we're hoping to be clearer this week because we figured out some stuff. So we're really happy tonight. It's going to be a good luck charm.
Yes, we are super happy. Okay, so in this episode, Buddy receives troubling news about his son. Vince struggles to adjust to the return of his dad from prison, and Julie bonds with Derek.
Vom. So bad.
Vom.com. Where would you like to start?
Vom City.
I'm going to have you choose who you'd like to speak about tonight first.
I need to marinate on the Julie stuff, so maybe not there.
Good, because she was last on my list.
Great.
How about we start with Tammy?
Let's do it.
Does that sound good? Okay.
Queen.
So after last week's Rally Girl initiation party, there was a video of Maura taken of her being Puppet Girl. And essentially, as we saw when they were leaving the party, Jess noticed that she was very, very drunk, almost like blackout status. Would you say blackout status?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jess was like, watch her.
Right.
Look what they're doing to her. Like, she was like, let's get this in check. But she was also drunk, and Vince was like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
But she did see.
Right. And so she's being manipulated like a puppet. One of the guys is doing that to her. And this video was posted online and has over 2,000 hits. And so Levi has a conference with Coach and Tammy. And he's like, listen, students' parents are very concerned. Also, the fact that we have Tinker, Vince, and Luke all in this video.
Right. They're in the eye line. They're in shot. So
pretty much Levi's saying the parents are angry at the football team. And Coach is like, don't go suspending my players because it's not really their fault. And honestly, I don't even know if the guy who was
holding her up they don't even mention him. They don't even talk about him being a football player. I feel like if we were to see the person who was holding her up like on the field,
right,
it would have made more sense. But maybe it wasn't a football player. It was like the whole school was there.
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah.
Are you telling these kids that they can't party? I mean, they're not really supposed to because they're underage, but kids will be kids and they'll find a way. Right. But I guess like these days, everyone's everywhere on the internet. Like you're seeing everything firsthand as it's coming, as it's going, parties with high school kids or whatever.
Yeah. How do you escape it?
Right. You can't get rid of your face being on camera. So.
Yeah. Right. And so Coach says he'll take care of his team. And then Tammy says, well, the girls should have to go through some sort of repercussion from this too. So Tammy has a speaker come and speak about the use of alcohol and the abuse of it. If you take too much, drink too much, get drunk, what have you. But she has this assembly only for the girls.
Yeah. And the speaker, bless her heart, wasn't really, she couldn't connect to these girls.
No.
They had no interest whatsoever in it.
No.
And Tammy, I feel like Tammy, if she felt that passionately about it, maybe she should have let it. Or done some like small group type things, like something where she could watch them pay attention to it. This way it wasn't built for success. And then she gets really fired up because the girls do not care at all.
Bored. One's brushing their hair. The other one's yelling out boring. Maura's just laughing.
That girl's so disrespectful.
And also throughout this episode, we see Tammy constantly trying to talk to Maura about how she's carrying herself and handling herself in these situations. She brings up the video and she's like, Maura says along the lines of, well, if it wasn't posted, no one would ever know about it.
Right.
Like, who cares about my actions?
And then
Which
Tammy's like,
fired up about
I
this.
did, but then I realized like, okay, she's trying to play devil's advocate, reverse psychology.
Right.
If she tells her one thing, she's hoping it's going to lead her to the right decision. But Maura is like, Tammy says to her, well, wouldn't you feel weird knowing that that happened to you, even if it wasn't like on television recorded? You know, if there wasn't proof of it, then you would just go home and sit with that. Like, doesn't that make you feel some way? And Maura just really, she cannot go deep there.
She doesn't care. And then later on, she's making out in the custodial closet that Tammy finds her, and she's like, "How? Look at your reputation that you're building for yourself. You're in this closet where brooms are and mops are." And Maura's just like, "So what?" And even you were like, "So what? She wants to have a little fun."
Yeah, while I like where Tammy's head is at with this whole thing,
Yeah.
the delivery on some of it, I'm like, maybe not the best way to approach it with her. She obviously is not resonating to what you're saying. It's not connecting to her. So it was a little,
It's a little tough.
It was a little tough, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the other hand, coach deals with his players. He's like, we will not have any tolerance for this on our team. He's making them run drills. Then 2 players, he sees them mocking the video, so he kicks them off right away.
I would have liked to see or to know if the other males that go to the school that are not on the football team also got a talking to. Because as we know, it wasn't just them. It was everyone at the party. Everyone from the school who doesn't matter who, they were, I'm sure, there. So the other males that are not on the football team need to hear this just as much as everyone else does. They should have had a collective, everyone in the auditorium or cafeteria, wherever, being talked to. Like, this is not okay.
Right.
We understand you guys might get in, a hold of alcohol at a young age or at a hold of drugs at a young age. But just think about the repercussions of what could happen if you get out of hand.
Do you think we're just to assume that they did have an assembly? We were just seeing the girls' point of view and then coach's point of view with the football players?
I feel like no. I'm not assuming it. It seems as though they don't really care.
Imagine in a public school setting, they are pulling out the girls to attend this type of assembly, and then the football players get it. And then if you're a guy who's not involved in sports,
then that's it. You're okay.
You don't have to go.
You don't have to follow the rules.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Right. They needed they needed Corinna to come in here.
Oh yeah, they did.
You all need to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Don't mess around with drugs and alcohol because you will, literally die. Mm-hmm. This could be what happens.
You mean Regina or Corinna Williams?
No, Corinna Williams.
Oh, bring her back. Okay.
Just someone who has that fire and that way to captivate a room to listen. I'm sure there are people out there that do these type of seminars. I know I'm going really far fetched here, but I'm sure there are people that, when Dare would come in elementary school, right? They would talk about drugs, and not only was it sort of fun, but I felt like it was very educational, and you were learning things about, what could potentially happen to people. So while I know it's a little cheesy and a little PG, but someone that can teach them this, which this woman, I'm sure she still could, she just didn't have that
she was very dry,
go-getter kind of approach. She doesn't captivate the room. So I think it would have been beneficial if everyone got together and listened to the same speech and was like, could potentially be a problem for someone.
Yeah.
And Maura, unfortunately, she's laughing about it. And I'm like, are you laughing on the inside though? You're not. You cannot be laughing on the inside. You're probably mortified.
Yeah, and maybe leaning into it.
What
people think
whatever.
Of me anyway.
Yeah, so what? I got drunk. I'm a good time.
Right.
I knew what they were doing or not.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sad.
and so like I said, coach, he kicked off 2 of his players, and then he's like, all right, gentlemen, you're going to wear suits on game day. You're going to have to do community outreach. And so we see the team dressed up outside of a supermarket. I was assuming that's what it was.
Just like a shopping center.
Right, trying to hand out flyers and raise awareness for the team. And Vince, who's just dealing with the fact that his dad is back and he's battling internally. What'd you think of Ornette, played by Cress Williams? Do you know Cress Williams?
I don't.
He's great. I love
But
him.
I think he, for this role did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. But I guess they couldn't I don't know, would they have made him like so absolutely terrible within like the first episode? I'm sure we're going to have to build if that's where we're going with this. So, he's what I expected, I guess. And I didn't realize, for some reason, I thought that maybe they had separated and then he went to prison, but it seems as though they were together and he just got caught.
Either he got caught or he did leave.
And just like kind of did his own stuff and then got arrested.
Right. And so now that he's out of prison, he automatically assumed that he's just going to stay with Regina and Vince. And Regina's also open to it as well.
Right. That was her husband.
Right.
Regardless of what happened, I'm sure there's still love there.
Yeah.
And she's clean as of right now, and I hope it stays that way. And I know obviously it's probably he was a bad influence on her to begin with.
Yeah.
But he seems to be on the right path.
Yeah, and he keeps trying throughout this episode to connect with Vince, almost act like nothing happened, and Vince is just not having it. Like, you're the one who left. Don't you dare show up to my games. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, when he tries to tell him how to tie a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough.
I don't know how he could expect anyone to react any differently than that. I haven't seen you in 5 years. You left us. Ease into it. Why would you expect me to just like run into your open arms and give you a hug? Like, it's just not what's going to happen. Maybe Regina did, and he kind of like felt like things were okay then.
Right.
But not Vince.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they had any contact in 5 years either.
No, I don't think so. And Vince is also frustrated from this, that he's not really opening to Jess about it either.
No, he's not. He's not really opening up at all. He's being very closed off.
Yeah, he
and
walks
it's just
off.
Beating him up.
Right. I mean, he's the captain and he walks off from the community outreach and the whole team's looking at him. Even Luke is like, why are you having everybody leave? Like, we didn't hand out the flyers.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care.
Tinker's like, I don't want to have to push tires.
It's so hot. They look so hot. They're in their suits.
Oh my God. It must be boiling.
So warm. Very warm.
Because I'm assuming you said they filmed this only a month after last season. I don't know when it was, but they filmed this in December. November. Still.
In November, but in the show it's September.
Right, September.
Either way.
It aired in November, so they must have filmed it.
Correct. I'm sorry. You're right.
I don't know. Maybe in the summer, in the spring. So
yes,
holy moly, I'm sure it was hot as hell.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yes, you are right. It aired in November. Jess, she was receptive to the assembly.
Cute.
She tells Tammy that she was listening and that, these girls, but at the same time, I do understand the rally girls. They just want to be a part of a team, which I love that she said that, because there is truth to that. Everyone just wants to be a part of something.
Right. And, whether or not then you do things that you might not be feeling as though it's the right move, but you do it anyway to stay with the kids that you want to be a part of.
Right. Yeah.
And then they were talking about, watching people vomit, and they pan to Jess, and Jess is like, oh shit, that was me. So she feels it too, but it's funny. She doesn't care about being a part of those type of groups. It seems like she's okay with being more on the alone side of things, but she just loves football so much that she's like, anything that has to do with football, I want to be around. And lucky her boyfriend is the quarterback.
Right.
So she's going to be around it regardless. But Tammy was so cute. Like, they were just so sweet. And she, like, her dimples, I just want to bite her cheek. She's so cute.
Yeah. Tammy says, how about being the equipment manager? Is that something you would be interested in? I would have to talk to Coach about it. And of course, Jess lights up. Oh my God, be a part of the team.
And she's like, I would be the best.
And also tell Coach that I understand plays.
Yeah. She's like, I would be amazing at that job. Just so funny and sweet and cute. And what's happening with the barbecue situation?
What do you mean?
Like Ray's barbecue is still there because we talked about
It
it.
does exist.
But
yes.
if she's going to be working at school, it means less hours maybe for Ray's barbecue. I don't know how it's going to
Thank
go down
goodness
with Aunt
for
Bird.
Aunt Bird, right? Thank goodness for Aunt Bird.
And the little boys, maybe they can start helping out in the kitchen.
Yeah. But Jess, obviously, she's not fazed by any of the locker talk. And Vince, we can see, is very much honed in on this of like, I don't think this is a good idea. Also, coach is a little hesitant of, I don't think it's a good idea to have one of my players' girlfriends in the locker room with the boys. But we know Jess can handle it. We know she can hold her
I'm
own.
hoping that she puts these boys in their damn place. Like, don't disrespect me and talk that way to me.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a really good spin on this episode. Would have been like, we're talking about how you respect women and how obviously they didn't respect the woman Mora in the video, and then we could have like brought it full circle with the boys saying some shit, and then in the locker room just being like, well, let me tell you something, and like wake them up a little bit. That would have been a good like little after school special episode.
Yeah.
Obviously they could have done it in a more tactful way, but you know, like she's not gonna take any shit, and I would like to see her put her foot down there.
And she can hold her own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Before the game comes, we have this scene with Vince and Coach, and Coach calls Vince into his office and is like, you didn't finish handing out the flyers. And Vince tells him, like, my dad just got out of prison. Now he's living with me and my mom. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
And Coach along lines is like, I'm asking you to strive to be better. We have to, it's all about character. This is why I'm asking you to wear a suit and tie. This is why I'm asking you to hand out the flyers. And Vince just breaks down and he says, I don't know how to be better. My dad never taught me. My dad wasn't there. He left.
Yeah.
This was such a good scene.
It was
y'all.
great.
It was so
He
good.
acted the shit out of this scene.
Both of them did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I just love Coach saying, I'm not asking you to be better. I'm asking you to strive to be better.
Yeah. You know what
It's in the trying.
I liked about this scene is Crowley comes in
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it like breaks the moment, but it doesn't in Vince's eyes. But I was like, wow, we could have totally not done that at all, where he comes and interrupts and we would have just had that scene, you know, go straight through. But the fact that they made him come in, it felt so realistic.
It did.
It felt like we were watching kind of like a documentary, which it feels like that a lot.
Right.
I was like, oh, that was like a smart move.
Yeah.
And plus he probably heard screaming, so he's like, what's happening in here?
Yeah, and pounding on the table. I mean, on the desk. He heard that.
And
for
throwing
sure.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But Vince plays a great game.
Like an excellent game. Superman. Where that came from, we don't know. But
Guys,
all of a
have
sudden
they been
today.
calling him Superman the whole time?
Yeah, like let's sound off in the chat about that.
Yeah. But he does play a great game. His dad does end up coming, even though Vince told him not to come. And so after the game, when Vince gets home, he has this talk with his dad, and his dad's packing up his stuff. And he's like, I will leave, but I just want to tell you, I went to your game. Like, you were amazing out there. I am proud of you. And you know, this was so effective for Vince to hear. And this is all he really wanted was acceptance from his dad, even though he can't let his dad in yet. It was so
No,
emotional.
he's not ready there.
I know.
But I really, this was a very emotional scene. And then he's like, where are you going to go? Like, just kind of making sure he has somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And then he's like, around. Like, obviously, around. So I'm sure he's not gone.
He's not on the island.
Yeah. It would have been interesting if they just kind of packed up his bags again and then we never see him again.
Do you think you would have been happy with that?
Honestly, you know what? Selfishly, yes, because then I knew it would lead to less drama with Vince.
Okay.
But now that I know, I'm assuming he sticks around. So, hey, maybe it will be beneficial and Vince will patch up some things with him. I don't know. It could lead him also not in the right direction. So,
yeah. Okay. We shall see. Okay, so over to Buddy. We have the grand opening of Buddy's Bar and Grill. Yay!
sure.
New location, new business venture.
Yeah, no more Applebee's.
In the beginning, we see the Lions. They're celebrating their win. And Buddy says that with every win, he's going to showcase the winning football in a display case. The Lions are now 3-0.
That's
Awesome.
pretty damn good.
That is awesome. Pam gives Buddy a call. Oh, hey, remember Pam?
Yeah,
Buddy's
remember when Michelle
ex-wife?
told me she was on the
I
island?
don't think I said
I
that.
think you did.
I definitely didn't tell you the kids were on the island, though. Because
I thought
either you asked about Buddy, you didn't ask about Buddy Jr. and Tabitha, and I said, do you want to know? And you said you didn't care.
Oh, okay. All right.
If
so
somebody's is re-listening,
yeah, let us know. I'm sure Mike knows.
I'm sure Mike knows, or Rihanna, she's catching up.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, Buddy Jr. is struggling. He's becoming a pothead. Pam can't deal.
Please.
Yeah.
This is so dramatic.
Well, Buddy complains to Coach about this, and Coach shuts him down real quick, and says, listen, maybe this isn't about you. This isn't about Pam. Enough with the woe is me. This is about your son. It's time to step up and be a father to your son.
Exactly.
Yes, Coach.
Yeah,
So,
Buddy, he's so damn selfish.
she's still bitter for Buddy.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
annoying.
at the end of the episode, Buddy gives Pam a call and says, I've made my decision. Buddy Jr. needs to come home. I am his father.
And she's like, thank you. I'm like, wait, so you want it? Like,
she can't deal anymore.
okay,
I can't deal with your son anymore.
That's the right thing to do, is kick your kid out of the house and go make them live with their dad for however many months. He's going to uproot his life and go to a different high school.
I mean, I don't know. Is it? I don't know. I'm not a parent. But I guess
I feel like they need stability. Like, just talk to him.
Mm-hmm. I guess Tabitha's doing okay.
I guess so.
Just Buddy Jr.'s the pothead. When she said he's smoking the marijuana, I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's a little dated.
Just a little. All right, last but not least, we have to
Here
talk about
we
Julie.
go.
Here we go. Hopefully
Warming
you've
up.
marinated by now.
Yeah.
So Julie gets a C- on her paper, and she questions Derek about it. And he tells her that there's so much more inside of you. I know you could do more. And invites her to the Professor Nevin's weekly salons that he holds.
He also was like, oh, right, like freshmen,
Mm-hmm.
you need to learn the ways.
Didn't she already get this speech from Austin Nichols' character when she was like writing on the
Probably.
paper? Like, there's more to you. You can dig deeper. Or was
I mean,
that Tyra?
she's in like,
That might have been
no,
Tyra.
no, he must have said something of the sort to her.
It just feels repetitive.
It does. It feels like the exact same situation, except, oh,
Yes.
wait, he's married. Shocked. I shouldn't be shocked, but I was very surprised.
Yeah.
And I was like, you mother F. Okay, she's on sabbatical, but you're still married.
But here's the thing. They say when he's having this conversation with another, I guess, teacher, she's like, you must be so proud. Your wife has been on sabbatical for 6 months in Boston. But he tells Julie that they've been having problems for so long, but she's only been away for 6 months. I'm not saying she's only been, but it's
Right.
it's 6 months.
It's 6 months. And who knows what happened before the 6 months, and
Right.
maybe what made her decide to take it. And I don't know, but he's putting so much stake into this, and I feel like
In
they've known each
Julie?
other, like for 2 weeks, if that.
Well, it's just so inappropriate because
Well, yeah.
Julie's drinking. First off, where are you allowed to drink at college functions if you're underage? I'm pretty sure no.
No.
But maybe this is off campus.
And he was drinking more, and like that's inappropriate too, especially if like you're supposed to be the responsible one.
Right.
You don't invite a student there and then you have a couple of drinks.
Right. And
Like,
so
that's not right.
him and Julie go off, and he tells her how they are married, but he doesn't even feel married. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm telling you this. And then he says, in another world, if things were different, which I hate that line.
Yeah.
He says that to her.
If things were different. Well, things aren't different. This is your life. You are married.
Yeah.
And you're walking alone. Like, you didn't need to go alone and talk about this.
No. And
It
then he
was
says,
so
"It feels
inappropriate.
good to get it out. You're telling me you have no friends?
You have no friends. You have no family you can talk to about this.
Your wife's been gone for 6 months. You've been keeping this in the whole time?
Right.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. And then, she says, oh, let me do something that's like random and out of the blue.
Well,
Take chances.
Which, to bring it back full circle, when he told her, oh, you should take chances with your
with your
writing.
pen.
Right. And she's like, let
Not
me
with
take
your
chances
lips.
here.
Your lips don't need the chance.
Well,
You've had plenty of chances with the
the
lips.
chances have been had.
They've been had, and then they not so much kiss, but they also have sex, and then it's so awkward, and she doesn't, and she knows that it's awkward, so she sneaks out in the morning, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, then at school, this was so bizarre. It almost is like, so you good? Good. And like, kind of like washed his hands with her. Like, oh, we fucked and that's good.
But he approaches her in a public space.
And talks about it with her in front of all these people.
What?
Are you good? Yeah, I really should have known better. I shouldn't have drank that much. Are you kidding me?
It's so bad.
This is so just so wrong on so many levels. And now knowing that he's married, and not that you can't be young and get married, right? But it makes him seem even older.
I agree.
What do we need to be involved with this 18-year-old for? You're like, you know so much about her brain. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you know all that much about her for you to completely ruin your marriage.
Not only that, it just feels like we had this amazing storyline with Vince and his dad, and where we like have tears and Jess and Tammy trying to make a difference, and then we go to this shit.
Yeah, it's
this
so
repetitive shit. And you know what?
The storyline.
People say this. They were saying in the chat, "This is why we don't like Julie," and it's like, no, this is the TA. The TA took advantage. Yes, she went along with it, but I don't blame her for it.
No,
he could have been like, no, we can't do this.
He was basically with open arms waiting for it to happen.
Correct.
And spewing his bullshit of, if another life, in another life this would be great.
Do not say things
you
like
don't
that.
say things like that if you're married, even if you're unhappy.
If you're a teacher student,
you don't, and you're a teacher student, you don't say that.
It's so bad.
You know, if things were different, that is like how hurtful to your partner, regardless of your status with them.
Yep.
That you say in another life, we totally could be doing something, or like just, having sex. It doesn't seem like he's like into her intellectually, but then that last scene made me completely disregard that. And then as the more it progressed, and then the next day he's like, I don't know, we were talking about the chat, he was like gaslighting her.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, you have nothing to apologize for. He told you to take chances. You decided to kiss him, and he didn't stop you.
Right.
And then he proceeds to take you back to his apartment, house, whatever, and have sex with you, very willingly knowing that this was happening, and that he okayed it, and that he's married.
It's inappropriate. It's so inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
This is
like not the only time this has happened. She cheated on Matt with a Swede. Mm-hmm. Like, why? She's so much better than this shit.
I know. Why can't we give her something else? I mean, yes, you're supposed to explore in college and all that, but like, we could have done this differently.
We could have done it differently.
We didn't have to do it with a TA who's married.
Right. We didn't have
the first week.
We
didn't have to do it.
It would have been way more interesting if, she walks in, takes some classes, decides, you know what, I hate this. I'm going to do Habitat for Humanity. And she like completely revamps herself and learns things about herself she never knew. And there's no guys surrounding it. And hey, she meets like a best girlfriend or best guy friend.
Yep.
And she goes on her merry way and, finds her purpose in life. This was not the purpose. This was just completely lazy writing. Lazy writing.
I agree.
Sorry. Again, I said it last week. Like, I love this show. I never talk shit. I'm sorry that I have to complain about this. There's got to be like one thing, right?
I'm pretty sure we're all complaining about this.
Okay, good.
Nobody likes this storyline.
I'm sorry. You've been wanting to go on for like the...
No, listen, you got to get your rants out. I mean, that's the end of the summary.
That's it, yeah.
That's all we have. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll go into all of your questions.
See what they're saying in the chat.
What's happening, people?
This Vic says the YouTube title says episode 4.
Oh, it does.
Can we change it?
Yeah, of course, but I can't change it now.
No.
but tthank you for that.
Well, this is an experience. Telling kids they can't do something with no actual education is not the way to keep them from doing it. They'll just want to do it more.
I just changed it. We should be good now. Yeah. Thank you, Vic. It's funny. The thumbnail image had the wrong episode last week, so I had to change that.
The one I did?
Yeah. It had the wrong number.
Oh, shit.
It's just
it's just like when you do like
too many
delete,
numbers.
paste,
Delete,
paste.
paste. I know. I hear you.
And then this week's title, I was like, what's the title? And then I just happened to type in, because, you know, I like to prep it early.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was called Father's Day. And I'm like, did Michelle never told me anything about fathers? So then I went back in and listened. I was like, oh, that is not what the title is at all.
No.
I don't know what they were writing on there.
So funny. So funny. All right. Shall we continue? Is there anything in the chat? They're going off, though.
They are going off. Let's see. Mike, he wants her to take chances with his pen.
Good
That's
one.
for sure.
Good one.
That's for sure. Yep. Mike says, question, it's Friday night. Where would you rather be seen at? Buddy's Bar and Grill with Vince or a trick with Nathan? Age appropriate, of course. Interesting.
I mean, I love Trick, but I'd rather be with Vince.
I mean, I feel like it would be more age appropriate to come to Buddy's Bar and Grill.
Yeah, but Trick was an
school.
all ages club.
That's true. I don't know.
Can I go to Trick with Mouth? Because I'd rather do that. Because at least Mouth dances.
That's true. Mouth and Lee both love to dance. So.
Yeah, they would be a good time. All right. Welcome back from break. We're going to go into your questions and comments. Lisa wrote in all of her thoughts. She says, I love this scene with Vince and Coach in the office. So well acted by both Michael and Kyle. Kyle has a sincere intensity in many of his scenes. And
I'm so sorry. I hit it with my heel.
I can't even give you an evil eye.
My God, Michelle was so mad. I've never seen her been so mad at me.
But it was all fake. The scenes just work for me. We were saying throughout this whole episode that Kyle is just doing it for us.
Parched.
Season 5, Coach Taylor.
Hello. I'm be
crush.
sad to see you go.
I said it's because Tim has not been present, so
Yeah.
my eyes are on Coach, but he's been humbled a little.
Yeah.
Just very into Coach this season.
Yeah. I go, in waves
Yeah.
with Coach.
Yeah, I know. But these past couple episodes have been real good.
Yeah. They have been. He's like a little tan.
Oh, he looks great. Thank you, Lisa. Will wants to know, along with almost every single person, what's
going to happen with Vince's dad?
Correct. What's the relationship? That's how, I just want to let y'all know, that's how Liz reads all your questions and comments. Not me. I would never read it in that voice, but this is Liz. Do you want to kick the stand again?
No, I'm not. I'm just sweating.
I'm sweating too. It's so fucking hot.
It's so hot in here tonight,
No
y'all.
AC.
Feel alive
And
in
I'm
this
wearing a
chilly
flannel.
tonight.
What
I
is
know
wrong
what's
with
wrong
me?
with you, but you're wearing shorts.
I know.
What do I think? And no, I'm not mocking you guys. I just assumed that literally everyone was going to ask this question.
Everyone did, yeah.
I guess he'll stick around. I'm afraid that he's going to get back with, what was the other guy's name? The one who knew his dad, the one that shot at him.
Yeah.
Kennard. No, was that his name?
Yeah. Good job.
Wow, that was the deep down the memory there. I'm afraid maybe the dad will stay with him, and then they're gonna team up again and do some shit, and Vince is gonna be like, "You're pathetic.
Yeah.
I want to be like you," or
I want to walk like you. Talk to you. See it's true. Do you know what I'm talking about? Jungle Book.
Yeah, the Jungle Book. Michelle loves the Jungle Book.
Do you know the scene with the monkeys, King Louie? That's what that song is.
Yeah.
Sam sends me this song whenever it pops up, and then she sent me a video of the little monkey in the Jungle Book going playing the air instrument. She goes, "This monkey slaps." This was just last week, and I was like, "Okay, Sam." Okay, mama.
Okay. She's got mommy brain.
She does have mommy brain.
So anyway, I think he will see his dad. I think he's going to realize it's best for him and his mom for his dad not to be in their lives.
Yeah.
I think not that he can't make a change, but I don't think he has changed. He's out of prison. That doesn't mean that you change your entire way of life.
How long do you think he'll be with us? Like, how long is this storyline going?
It's episode 3. Wow. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 more to the halfway mark, and then I think we'll focus on some other stuff for Vince. I'm hopeful to see more, college stuff happen with him, and maybe he'll get recruited or something like that and get scholarship, whatever. And just be better. Not be the best, but be better, as the coach has said. Yeah, strive to be better. You just have to try. And he did say, and his dad said to him, like, you're better than I ever was.
Yeah.
And I think Vince is like, oh, better. Like, I am doing better.
Right.
So I hope he just keeps that mentality and doesn't let his dad's shit tear him down. And, like I said, the dad will maybe realize, like, I'm going to go, or, maybe he'll turn his life around and decide he's going to go work in, like, a soup kitchen or something, or go, or work in, like, an AA, just something to, like, help people.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But not be around. But Vince will be like, I'm proud that you turned your life around, Dad. Thanks.
Right.
You're a good example.
Right. Okay. Will also wants to know, what would your touchdown dance be?
The Gritty.
The Gritty?
Yeah. Randy and I came out to the Gritty at our wedding. So that would be fun.
Didn't you come out to, is that what the Gritty is?
Yeah. It's just a dance move.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Oh.
Can you do it?
Not right now.
Oh.
I have to take all the equipment off.
What? Oh, but you can't, like, do a little movement for me?
I mean, like, the arm, it's like the feet are, like, heels out, and you're just like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I think mine.
It's just like a little swag.
Would just be like, baby roll, baby roll, baby roll. I love the baby roll. And I keep hitting my mic.
Thank you. I can't take it out. It's fine. We're good.
We're good. All right. Mike wants to know, why was there alcohol at the party Julie was invited to? If students were there, then there shouldn't have been alcohol, or someone should have been checking IDs. I think it's because someone's house. It's never.
It was a very random. Like, nobody really explained what this party was.
Well, it was a salon, so they're obviously discussing history. We see those two.
Is that what that is? Like, what a salon is?
Well, no, it's who had a salon in Gossip Girl? They had them.
They did.
Yeah,
you just like are
getting together and discussing topics.
Yeah,
but those two students.
Intellectual was the word I was looking for. I was going to call it architectural. No, it's intellectual.
Hey, there could be architectural.
But there could be. You're just your intellects, and you're talking about things. And like Julie was like, this is so lame, hearing the people talk about whatever they were talking about.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to find some drama, and she did.
She had a healthy pour of wine.
Yes, she did.
Mike also says, was there a video or something similar that went around at your high school? When I was in grade 11, I remember hearing that at the after prom weekend, only in grade 12 do we have prom. We don't have a junior or senior prom. And for after prom, the tradition is renting cottages for the weekend and partying. This guy had sex with a girl purposely in front of a glass patio door, so everyone saw everything. It, of course, went around at school, and come Monday morning, everybody was talking about it. I remember hearing someone flip out at someone else talking about it and saying something along the lines, how do you think she feels? Everyone talking about her for something that should be private. No one really talked about it or mocked the guy. Unfortunately, it was the girl who got all the comments.
Always. I'm sure things like this happened. I can't recall. I wouldn't say... Not that we were in high school in the Stone Age, but like there was not as many outlets as to witness things unless you were in person and it was word of mouth. There was for sure a shit ton of gossip and people playing telephone about things. I definitely had a lot of stories like come back to me,
really?
Yeah, I mean they weren't about me, but like about people and like their sexcapades or like I remember like a time they talked, and like we were young, and they talked about like the first time this girl gave this guy her boyfriend a blowjob,
Yeah.
and like everyone talked about it, and I'm like, who the fuck started this rumor? First of all,
Yeah.
who the hell knows if it's even accurate?
Yeah.
Like I remember that vividly, and I remember being like 12 or 13 and being like, what is a blowjob?
Well, I remember being in 8th grade and still after school I would go home and play dolls with you and
Yeah.
Sam because you guys were
6th grade,
right. So what, 12?
12.
And in 8th grade, like my best friend, she like jerked some guy off at the movies and I was like, ew.
You're like, what is a penis?
No, I knew what a penis was, but ew, don't touch it.
But ew, don't touch it. They touch it. Ew.
In the movies. Yeah, so but nothing of video. And like you said, like we grew up in a different time. I graduated in 2005. There was
We were barely
MySpace.
having phones.
We barely had phones. We had MySpace. You had your top 8.
Mm-hmm.
But really
That
there was
was it.
nothing circulating unless you had to download off LimeWire or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I can't even imagine what the kids have to go through now.
I know.
And just watching shows that have these technology, like these teen dramas like Ginny and Georgia or whatever I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God, these kids like really are fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know anything else
Right.
other than that. So
Right.
the instant gratification of being able to see this video and watch it 100 times over and it being ruining someone's life, like this could very well ruin Maura's life. And as Tammy said, like, you think colleges are going to want to,
Yeah.
talk about you, or, other people's parents are going to talk about you. Just like,
We should have seen more as parents.
yeah. I'm hopeful that we go a little bit further into this girl. Oh God. I guess maybe not. Because it seems as though she's troubled and she needs some help. Tammy should help her as well as Epic.
We know Tammy will. Or we
hope.
We hope. Do you think Julie regrets sleeping with her TA? When I was in university, there was this TA who slept with his students in exchange for their vote for him to win the yearly TA award. Mike, between this and your high school story, you sound like you're living in a teen drama.
Yes, you really do have a teen drama.
I think right now she regrets it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Probably not feeling her best.
No. I mean, maybe like 10 years down the line, she'll be like, well, that was fun, and, forgive herself for it. But
Right.
no, not right now.
No.
Did you know anyone that had relationships with their professors or like TAs or anything?
Nope.
A girl I was
So
friends
boring.
with in high school like had a full out relationship with her professor. I'll tell you off mic. You're gonna love it.
Oh, wait. I actually feel like I can guess this person.
I'm sure you could.
I'm going to guess it and I will share with you.
Report back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember being like, well, number one, okay, that makes sense. Number two, like, how? And why? And because you could.
Well, she was in college.
Yeah, because you could.
Professor. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. This question is for Liz, for you. For when you were doing dance, would you have been okay with your boyfriend being the dance version of equipment manager? I don't know if that's a thing.
Well, there was a time in my life that I also dated a dancer, and so we would get to see each other. This is like 8th grade. Michelle. So we would get to see each other at dance, and it was fun because we had like some of the same classes, but not that many because we were like on different levels. And it was fun to like see him on like a Saturday class, but
It was fun to see him on a Saturday class. Okay.
but I'm trying to think about like if I'm gonna put myself in, I think it'd be fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be fun. Like if, on Kickline, he'd like come in and like, I don't know, pick up our pom-poms or some shit. I'd be like, this is funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun.
Thank you, Mike. Jacqueline says, I love Jess's enthusiasm about being equipment manager. Did you all ever have any school jobs in high school? I worked in the library one semester and loved it.
Oh, I don't. Did you work at the school shop?
No.
Someone worked in the school store. Sam, maybe? No, I didn't do any of those things. It seems like a very Sam thing to do, to work in the school store.
Yeah, I didn't know. No, I never worked just like was in
Yeah.
stage crew. I was in yearbook for a hot second.
I was too, like for
Showed
like
up to
half
guitar
a semester.
club. Sup, boys? I don't play guitar.
But you guys are cute, okay?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Elizabeth says, what do you think about Buddies? Do you think the food is better than Applebee's?
I would hope so. Nothing against Applebee's, but they're a chain of restaurants, so the quality of food, I'm sure, is not the greatest. I haven't been in an Applebee's in quite some time. And when you did, it was, late night appetizers or
Half
drinks
off.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
So I would hope the food would be better.
What was your Applebee's order? Do you remember?
During like dance season, I would always get the Asian chicken salad because that was the best. I had like little mandarin oranges in it and like the wontons.
Mm-hmm.
But at night it would be like the spinach and artichoke dip.
Oh,
You always got the spinach and artichoke
classic.
dip.
I always got the apple sangria
Mm-hmm.
and chips and salsa.
Delish.
So good. Did you ever have a teacher or professor host regular parties at their house? The dean of the College of Business hosted a big party for the rival football game that was 30 minutes away. After the party at the dean's house, they dropped us off at an alumni tailgate where we drank before going into the game and ended up in the stands highly intoxicated with the president of the university.
That's really fun.
That sounds so fun.
And no.
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 Wow, we're so boring.
We're so boring. We didn't have any fun in college experiences.
No. She also asked, is Julie and the TA the worst power age difference relationship in all of the Total Betty shows? No. In my opinion, the Arya and Ezra is worse.
By far.
Julie and Luke, not great.
Really bad.
Not good.
Really,
Not good. No.
like gap in age. Yeah, they're by far the worst. Luke and Julie.
Yeah.
But Ezra and Arya, there's like way more high stakes with Ezra and Arya.
Do you think I should have put a spoiler alert in front of that?
I mean, we can. And
I'm
I'll
gonna
in post.
say-
I'll put it in post.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I'll put it in
ahead.
post. I've done it before.
Okay, thank you. Do that because
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth. Vic wants to know, have you ever had those safety type meetings at your school like the one Tammy had that the teachers were doing?
I don't remember like in high school though.
No.
But they should have. They absolutely should have.
Yeah, but like, okay, to be honest, would they have even done anything? No, we used to have that guy come, that retired cop, and he would talk about
Yes. And he would always
driving drunk.
he would talk about, and he would have that.
He was good, actually. He was a very good
He was like
speaker.
Popo 50. He always had that like
yeah.
slogan at the end.
He was engaging.
He was very engaging, and we had him so many times throughout our school career that you knew what to expect from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also think the parents and adults around these children make a huge difference.
Yeah.
While a seminar is great, I feel like maybe they should have talked to the parents, like got all the parents together, like there's a problem, obviously. Let's figure out how to attack it all together.
Right.
What do I know?
Remember that?
I don't have kids.
Do you remember you used to type out that like shrug guy?
Yes.
That's us.
That's me all the times.
Same. I don't know.
And still that emoji, I use that emoji all the time.
Yeah. Too good. Rihanna, she is catching up on the pod. She's listening to our episode. She's watching Friday Night Lights. So welcome. We're so glad you are here. She wants to know, will Tammy be able to help Maura?
I hope so.
You
I
have
hope
high
we get to
hopes?
the root cause. Like I said before, I mean, she could be on the island or not, but
She's not.
I have a feeling that Tammy's going to take an interest in her and Epic, as I said before. I'm sure maybe there'll be like another person in there.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Tammy just like stand up for the women. And remember in the beginning, you were like, mention this, because I was pissed when Tammy had seen what happened to Maura and she's like, oh goodness, that happened. I'm like, oh, well, Texas will be Texas, right? Boys will be boys.
That's Texas football.
Texas football. Like, she's like, oh God, let's talk about it.
Instead of having the assembly on what happens when you get drunk, maybe we can just change the narrative of Rally Girls.
Right. Right. Let's look about what a rally girl represents.
Yeah.
Respect. Respect and pride for their team.
Yeah.
But you don't need to give someone your underpants to get that.
Correct. Thank you, everyone, for sending your questions and comments. We appreciate you. Let's go into our other segments. What was your favorite quote?
They threw in the flag for excessive celebration. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. I'm like, that was the cutest thing I've ever heard.
I want a flag thrown at me when I'm just like dancing too much, you know? Here it goes.
I was like, wait, what the flag? And then they said excessive celebration. I'm like, that's hysterical.
I didn't say you had to be better. I said strive to be better. The character is in the trying, Coach Taylor.
Yes.
So good. Coach's Corner. What was your favorite moment?
It was really hard to pick any of Coach's moments, but I think I picked every one of Coach's moments. I had Coach with Buddy, and then I had Coach with his lessons with Vince, and then Coach was just like with all of the boys, trying to teach them to be better men.
I agree. I loved every single moment. I really loved Coach talking to Buddy, but I think I have to give it to Coach with Vince.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In that moment.
More meaningful.
MVP and shittiest. Do you have your MVP?
I do.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, Coach.
Yes. For multiple reasons. And not because we think he's a hottie patati. Cutie patootie, hottie patati.
Oh, yes. We had votes, obviously, for Coach. We had votes also for Buddy, Tammy, and Vince.
Nice. Buddy?
Yeah.
I'm such a hater.
He's making an effort.
I'm such a hater.
He's making an effort.
Yes. I want to know how everyone feels for next week, obviously. Let me know if you feel this is the best decision for Buddy Jr. I don't know if it is, but you guys let me know.
Well, I guess we will see.
Yeah.
Shittiest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
3, 2, 1, Darren. I called him Darren.
Darren. I was like,
Derek.
Is this,
Derek.
Bewitched?
Darren. Whatever his name is.
That was across the board. We also had Vince's parents from Will.
Yeah.
He says, I think both of them in different ways are putting him in a very difficult situation. Even if they want to be a family again and are making strides, they need to do some planning, have a slower transition.
Yeah. Agreed.
Thank you, Will. Let's go into a booster of the week. Who's our Lion booster? Ooh, that was a good one.
Our booster, I think is she in the chat? Elizabeth's in the chat, right?
Yes, she is.
Elizabeth's a brand new patron. Woo! She's been with She's been with Total Betty for a while.
Yeah.
Catching up on the podcast, sending the emojis. We really appreciate her. And now she's a pledge. And special, she's going to be on next week. She won the raffle for a patron guest spot. So we're going to actually get to talk to her next week and meet her via Zoom.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is so fun.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
All right. For emoji for this episode, Liz actually chose this one because before we got on, full disclosure, I was like, I'm not going to do this ping pong game of, hey, what do you want the emoji to be? I don't know. What do you want it to be?
Yeah.
A Superman.
We're just a superhero.
Right.
If you type it in, there's a bunch that come up. I just thought it was so funny that they're calling him Vince Superman Howard. I'm like, well, since when? But I like it.
Super who?
Does anyone else have nicknames besides Smash?
Yes. What did Billy called Matt something?
Really?
Yeah, like, oh my God, Saracen. I'm drawing a blank because I remember nothing.
Because I'm like, Jason didn't have a nickname. They called him Street.
7.
Well,
Saracen was 7.
Yeah.
Tim's 33.
33. Fours. That
Luke.
Makes me laugh so hard. We're on a walk. Was it this morning or yesterday?
Fours.
And it just came to my head and I was like, Randy, I know you're not caught up yet, but there's this character Luke and his number's 44 and they call him Fours. I'm like, isn't that funny? He's like, I guess. Like, it's so funny. I'm like, Tim's just like, Fours. It's just funny.
Yeah, it is funny. I'm trying to think if any of the other ones.
I don't think so. You'll have to, if anyone knows Matt's nickname that Billy gave him.
What did Billy call Matt? I'm drawing a blank. But you can send us that superhero, Superman emoji. We want to know that you've gotten this far. So we give you this prompt. You can stick an Apple Podcast review if you're enjoying the podcast. Rate us 5 stars, leave us a review, drop that emoji. Mike wrote us a really cute subject line using last week's emoji with the pig snout. In fact, he sent like all 3 pig variations.
Oh,
so
nice.
Good job, Mike. You get a gold star. But you can send the emoji over on Instagram DMs. Send us an email with them. We just want to know you're listening. I mean, this is fun, right?
I think it's
wish
fun.
Like, someone would give me a prompt when I listen to a podcast because sometimes I don't know what to write. Like I have all the good intentions to leave you a review. I'm like, what do I write? Besides, I like you. And here's the emoji.
Yeah, maybe.
This is like, shut up, Michelle.
Never.
All right. I'm going to give you the title for next week.
I'm ready.
All right. Season 5, episode 4, Keep Looking.
Okay.
And the quote is, you can't make anything work for you, can you, Buddy Jr.?
All right. Well, obviously, Buddy Jr. is here.
Oh,
The same actor?
I believe so, yeah.
I'm blanking on what he looks like, to be honest. So
I looked this up so long ago. You do you, and I'll look up.
All right. So I guess he'll be giving Buddy a run for his money. Maybe he'll ask some more advice from Coach, about children, how to raise them. Being that he doesn't really know how to do that. I would love to hear, let's talk about Lila for a second. Can we mention her? We have yet to mention Mr. Landry Clark. Makes me a little nervous.
I plead the 5th.
Okay. Not that I expected to see him all the time, but I'm afraid we're maybe never going to see him.
Am I blowing my mind right now? It's not the same actor.
It's not? They changed this kid 3 times? Or just twice?
No, it would be just twice. Anyway, God, keep making your predictions.
I don't know what else to say about Buddy Jr. QB1. 7 Cobra Mayday.
Cobra.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Thank you, Vic.
Thank you.
I honestly don't know what else to say about Buddy Jr., but I'll go on to
Vince and his dad.
I made predictions about Vince and his dad. I think he will visit him and see what he's doing. Maybe he'll talk about his situation with Kennard. I know we're going back to that because Vince is he's doing really well, so I'm sure we're gonna shoot him down. I hope not actually quite literally shoot him down.
Oh my God. What do you think's gonna happen with Julie and Derek? Do you think this is over, or do you think this will continue?
You know what? I want to say this is probably over. Having sex with each other, probably over. Okay. But having a little bit of an issue with him, not. I think he's going to use his superiority and his power and, try and weasel his way into maybe, I don't know, feeling like he can teach her in some way, but also know that there's history there. I don't know. Is he sleazy enough that he's gonna have sex with someone else too? I don't know. I feel like it might go that way. Maybe not. Maybe I doubt he's gonna be I left my wife.
Oh my
Please,
God.
that's never gonna happen. Maybe she'll come back. I don't know. But
yeah,
it's not over with him. But I don't know if they're gonna hook up again.
You're right.
Because it didn't seem like Julie felt all that great about it.
Right. Okay. Good predictions. We shall see what happens.
I'll try.
All right. Last but not least, we do have Will's Football Poetry Corner. Hurdle. When a player hurdles a defender, he jumps over them and runs towards the end zone in a spectacular fashion. Vince hurdled many opposing football players and life obstacles in this episode, while Jess jumped from being a football player's girlfriend to being the equipment manager. Meanwhile, Julie jumped the bones of her TA with the line, "You know what you said about taking chances? That shit was straight from a horrible Lifetime movie."
Absolutely. Yes, Will. Yeah, it was terrible.
Look at the emojis he used. Will supplied some awkward emojis, upside down smiley face emoji.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a trip.
What a trip. What a trip.
But we're already done with like almost half of this franchise. And I don't know why I always have to like rush the time, but it's just so crazy
I know.
on how quick it's really going.
I know.
And we're in July and it's summer. Craziness.
It's 9 o'clock at night.
9 o'clock
on
at
a
night.
Thursday.
Michelle's like, shut up, we're going. But thank you to everyone who has stayed with us until 9:06 p.m. Everyone in the live chat. Thank you, patrons. You are quite literally the best out there. We love you so much. Oh, and it's time to go because the cats are meowing. They're like, I'm hungry, bitches. Let's go. And until next week.
Yeah, please come back. Elizabeth will be joining us, our new Betty patron, and we'll be discussing episode 4. Keep looking. Yay!
That's a wrap for July, y'all.
Woohoo!
Thank you to Molly and Elizabeth for your first. What is this, live? Yay!
Yes. Thank you
That's
guys
awesome.
so much. We so appreciate everyone. 7 here. It's only 6 here.
Yep.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't know either. Anyway,
Anyway, thank you
all.
guys. Have a great weekend.
Love you.
Bye.